What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Some stuff came out this week. And yeah, I figured we'd go through it. My guest tonight is and might still be Machine Delusions. However, he disappeared on me a little while before the stream. So I will just continue on, and hopefully he appears at some point. And if not, we'll just keep moving, and I'll have him on again really soon. So no big deal. Let's get kicking. We were going to focus on LoRA training and some other stuff that's in Phil's nodes and stuff. I might still touch on his nodes, but it was really good. It would be better if he was here if I start talking about model training, because he's the one who knows about it. I don't. So I'm just going to go through, like SD3 and some of the stuff I've been doing with it, and Depth Anything version 2 came out. What else? Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we'll start fooling around and see what's new. And if Phil shows up, and if not, we'll catch him next time. All right. So welcome everybody, and yeah, I don't know if y'all played with Stable Diffusion 3 yet. A lot of people don't love it. But I would like to remind people that every base model sort of starts out that way. And yes, anatomy is kind of messed up, though I do think that is a a required overcorrection on their part to comply with legal stuff to get the base model out. So it is what it is. We got it, and people like Binks here in the chat have already started training it. And we'll see what we can do as a community. Maybe there's some interesting stuff we can do with the new architecture and things I don't fully understand that will allow us to train these models in new and exciting ways. But yeah, like as it stands right now, it feels pretty sanitized and oddly strange and bad at anatomy. But other things look really great. It's really good at certain art styles. It's really good as a upscaler / denoiser. I was having a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, let's have a look at the sort of multi-prompt, the sort of the way we interact with it first. So let me load up a workflow, which is the one that comes with it. So if you go to Stable Diffusion 3 Hugging Face. Just drop a link in the chat here. On this link here in the files, there's a folder called Comfy Example Workflows. So the workflow I'll be working from here is the SD3 Medium Example Workflow Multi-Prompt. So if you want to follow along with me and you have SD3 and all the models and everything ready to go, that's it right there. That's the link to the file, and you can grab it and follow along. So when I load that up, you'll see it just loads up basically a modified simplistic or more simplistic workflow for SD3. Oh no, Depth Anything gone down? That's interesting. Phil's on his way, he says. Ooh, maybe we will pivot back to model training. Well, we're both going to talk about our first impressions of SDL and SDX, SD3 anyway. Let me check my Discord, and hopefully we can get Phil in. All right. So, yeah. Let me load that workflow while we wait. I'm triple distracted here. So here's the multi-prompt workflow. It's a lot like the original workflow, but there's just a few modifications. We have this conditioning thing you can pretty much ignore for now. My understanding that all this does, all these nodes here, they tell the conditioning to start around 10% in and then stop, and then add the negative prompt 10% in and on. So it seems like oh, one sec, Phil's here. Let me add him to the thing. We're about to get an appearance, friends. Well, this is definitely the coolest entrance so far, I think. Just like, not being there and then being there. Do 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 do. Do 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 boop boop. All right. So as I was saying, this weird conditioning thing, that's just for the negative prompt. I think it's just to only make the negative prompt turn on 10% into the run. Oh, I heard a doot. Let me turn on my system audio so you guys can hear Phil. Hello.
Oh, there we go.
I hear you.
Oh, you heard me snoring.
Yeah, you were asleep, and now you're on YouTube.
Oh,
what a jump.
Man, it ain't easy being cheesy, dude.
Well, welcome. This is definitely the coolest entrance I've had so far.
Holy moly, it's probably the worst for me. That's a lie, though.
Right on. Well, yeah, welcome to Machine Delusions, everyone. I'm going to let you explain who you are so that I don't fuck it up. So please say hello to everybody and tell them what you are and who you do.
Yeah. How's it going, YouTube? My name is Phil, also known as Machine Delusions. General artist in the space, longtime tech lover, OG of AI in general. Started playing with AI back in the Pity and Disco Diffusion days. Many know me in the community for fine-tuning models. I have a node pack that I've been working on for the last few months. All sorts of fun stuff, but yeah, definitely been around the space for a long time, and I don't know, Purz, if they can see my my icon, but the pink girl, you've bound to see that somewhere.
No, I haven't added your icon because I was going to add your camera, but I can add your icon. Let me find you.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't actually have a webcam.
That's
realized
fine.
that.
That's all good.
Okay.
If you want to share a screen, just use that video ninja link and send me the thing, and I'll pull it up. But for now, we can just yak, and I'll put your icon up. But yeah, I've known Phil for a while now, and yeah, he's very open with his information, and I've really enjoyed just plumbing latent depths with you, man. And I think this will be a really fun conversation. I think you can fill in a lot of the technical blanks that are present in my brain, and hopefully we can give the community something interesting today.
Yeah, absolutely. This stuff's all about exploration, right? And just like you said, it's fun just exploring together, and not only us, but like the whole community at large.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to set up this video ninja.
Cool. I'm just grabbing your profile picture while we wait here. But yeah, I've got you Phil's nodes up on the screen. Grab them. They're in the manager. There are different nodes used for manipulating images in different ways, shaders and really fun stuff. We're going to dig into it later, but if you want to start playing with it while we're talking, go grab them, Fill nodes. You just install them and you can plug images into them basically and do stuff with them. And then there's other stuff too, but they all start with the prefix FL. So you just type FL space and then you can see them all in the thing. But I mean, I use them all the time. They're all really awesome. It's just great to have these kind of shaders in Comfy inline, because not only for post processing, but you can actually do this to your stuff before you send it into IP adapters or the image to image or whatever you're doing. You can pre and post process footage with it. So super cool stuff. Recommend everyone get them. And I think I already posted the link. Oh, no, the link's in the description. Someone said that the Depth Anything version 2 pages are giving a 404 now.
Oh, really?
Were we not supposed to have those yet?
From Kajai?
I don't know.
Or
well,
like
anyway,
repo.
If you guys want to try and install it, it's right here. You can just git clone that into your custom nodes folder. I don't believe it's in the manager yet, but that's Depth Anything version 2. And yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys how it works, but it's pretty fun. It's fast too. Very fast. Only on GitHub. Huh. Well, Hopefully the download script still works because it's all built into the node. Okay, this has been a chaotic start to the episode. And I need to get your profile picture.
I can just share my entire screen through the Video Ninja, yeah?
Yeah, you just share screen with OBS or whatever and then send me the link. And I turn off my notifications so that everyone doesn't see it. Yeah,
that
we're good.
Should be a thing.
Got it. And so now I can pull this in, copy link. Normally we would set this stuff up about 15 minutes before the show, so just bear with us, people. No worries. 1920, 1080. Browser source. Okay, so this should pull your screen up. Hey. Okay, I have your Discord screen. Which is probably not what you wanted. It says Discord app detected. I will hide it. And just make sure you're sending me the right monitor or whatever. Faster than V1. I don't know if it's faster, but it looks better. It's definitely faster than Marigold, I'll tell you that. Depth anything, I mean. Yeah, I was getting really good results. I was testing all the different models as well. Trying to figure out which ones are, you know, flickery for video. It's looking like the VIT I FP16 seems to be the winner because there's 6 Depth Anything version 2 models. So I just made a little comparison script to try to figure out which ones are the best. Because, you know, the contrast and stuff matters, but that you want them to be as not flickery as possible. All right, let's see. Oh, we're still on your Discord app there, bud. Not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, hold on.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to go right back to this SD3 thing while we set this up. So basically, this SD3 workflow is like the one I was showing you guys on the GitHub is basically the same as the default workflow with this conditioning thing added for the negative prompt and this model sampling node, as well as this sort of triple clip loader. So SD3 has, what, 3 clip layers, clip G, guidance prompt, clip L, linguistic prompt, and the T5 XXL, I don't even, is it a clip? What's it called? What's that thing called?
Oh, the T5?
Yeah.
You can, man, you can almost think of it like a small LLM, basically.
Okay. So it's almost reinterpreting what you're telling it?
Yeah, you can think of it like a buffer between your words and the clip itself.
So yeah, like as you can see in the default workflow, they have put a guidance and a linguistic clip into the first two, which is the same. And it says, you know, the background is dominated by deep in red purples, creating a mysterious and dramatic atmosphere, similar to a volcanic explosion. And then if you look at the T5 prompt, it's like much more in depth. Portrait of a female character with long flowing hair that appears to be made of ethereal swirling patterns, resembling the northern lights or aurora borealis. Her face is serene with pale skin and striking features. She wears a dark colored outfit with subtle patterns. The overall style of the artwork is reminiscent of fantasy or supernatural genres. So like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been using an LLM to prompt the T5 clip because like, I don't want to be writing so many words all the time. But yeah, so it seems like you put the very flowery descriptive prompt into the T5, and then you keep it pretty composition and lighting in the, you know, composition, colors, and lighting in the other two. That's sort of how I've been approaching prompting it, and I seem to be getting pretty good results. So I don't know if it's the right way, but that's what I've been doing. So if we run that, oh yeah, I have to enable all the models. So you can go download all the models from that Hugging Face link that I shared there. They're all in the folders there. I'm just going to use the FP8 for now on stream so my computer doesn't explode. See if your screen still says Discord, unfortunately, Phil. Let me try.
Why?
I don't know.
It
Oh, did you
doesn't.
send me a new link? Maybe try starting a new one.
Yeah, I'm
Weird.
like, there's only two options: Discord and my other window. And okay,
Can you do screen? Maybe. Is there another
that's
tab
what
for
I.
screens?
Yeah, okay. Select. That's what I was doing. Select screen to share, entire screen, screen one.
We're both very
Yes.
technically oriented, so it's very funny to have small
I
technical glitches
know.
like this.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Prompting sucks. We have images
Ooh, it
now.
does.
And yeah, these seem to be the default settings for still says Discord. Let me check. Did you send me a new link? Same link. Okay. Oh, that's the push link.
Oh,
That's okay. I can just switch it to view. View. Okay, that might be working. Let me try that. Reloading that in OBS now. We're almost there, people. I swear. Oh, I know
almost.
what happened. It wasn't your fault at all, man. It was mine.
Oh
I
my god.
I pasted the wrong link into the thing. Yeah, we're killing it. Okay, friends. I've got Phil's screen up here, and yeah. You just take it from here, buddy, if you want to talk about stuff you've been working on, things like that.
Oh my lord, I am live?
You're live on YouTube, and people are looking at your screen. So
That's
whenever I
pretty
have
sick.
questions about training or inference or the inner workings of LoRa's, Phil's my go-to person. So yeah, if you guys have questions about those things, please drop them in chat and I will parrot them. All right.
I honestly, starting off strong, I wish there was a way to drop all the nodes from a node pack on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, like just like a big menu so you can see
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I honestly should just save this as my own and then add to it. But basically what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling up all of my custom nodes because I think this is a decent place to start. And the stuff I've been working on for the past couple months, I've basically been kind of like using this as a learning experience and a project, and filling in a lot of the blanks of fun stuff that I think people would enjoy when it comes to creating art in Comfy, as well as like every time I hit a problem or a just like a shortcoming in Comfy where I'm like, man, why do I have to use like 7 nodes to do this one dumb thing?
Mm-hmm.
I just like kind of go off on a tangent and I'm like, no, I can just build something to fix this problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely a lot of examples in here that I mean, even yourself, Purz, have got excited over where I'm like, I built this thing. It does what you used to do in one node instead of like 7.
Exactly. And it saves like so much time. Like I like tightening up workflows so much, especially when like I don't know, little like okay, let's talk about the text labeling node. Like the process before was to make a text mask for every image, concatenate those labels onto the images, then calculate the new sizes of those rows and columns in order to concatenate the new rows and columns together when it comes time to do the next part. Whereas with your image label node, I just run the image through that node and it just generates an image with the label on top of it, which is all I really wanted in the first place.
I know. And I was like, and then I remember just like coming into the Discord one day and being like, "Yo, Purz, how do you make those A/B kind of like labeling things?" And you're just like, "Oh, it's concatenation hell." And I'm
Yeah,
just
you
like,
don't want to
"Okay,
know. You don't want
that's
to
all I
know.
have to know," and I'm gonna go build something.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's just start from that node specifically. So where is it? Image FL image nodes. Really simple node. Um, text input, bar height, text size. You just load in an image, and you can put, say, like notes and define the height of the black bar. And when you
Yeah.
run it, very simple. You get this at the top. I have my font size. Change that here. Perfect. And why this is useful is this also does works with videos too. You can feed a video through here. And why this is useful is there's a lot of times where you're trying to test settings. You have multiple case samplers trying to do like an A B, and you just need that like added visual for like sharing to friends, sharing to community, even for yourself. You save the video down, you save the picture, and you're like, you come back to it and you're like, I don't know what I did here. This is like very clear. You could just be like CFG, 2, steps 20, and like denoise 1.5, or that doesn't even make sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then boom.
Yeah, this is
So
exactly
that's
what I
like,
use for doing large grids of comparisons now. 'Cause you can just, yeah, and you can turn that into an input and just use other concatenation, pull stuff from metadata. Like all this stuff's so expandable beyond just like typing stuff into a widget too, which is great.
yeah, and now that I have this foundation, like it really could be whatever we want, but this was like the simplest implementation. Um, and so that's one example of some of the utility that I've added. I have a lot of VFX. So my VFX ones are, I mean, what they sound. They are almost just ASCII twice here. Almost just fun nodes that simply just make stuff look crazy, basically. And these nodes are definitely pulling a lot from things like Touch Designer and like traditional effects that like most people already are privy to.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect all of them.
We
By the way, pro tip for people who use Comfy. I see a lot of people still do this. Click the little line and go all the way right to the circle. Okay, boom. No, you don't have to do that. Slow. All you have to do is click it and drop it anywhere on the node. Point, and it connects. Really simple. Uh, Definitely get in the habit of doing that. The only time it doesn't work is when there's a um,
like width and
multiple of the
height or
same.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Two
like
strings or two
conditioning.
ints. Yeah.
Yeah, conditioning is my go-to. So it'll always connect to the top. And this is something I've talked to Comfy himself about, and like that, that one point I brought up at that council. But let's say, I take this line and I click and drag it. Okay, cool, it's connected. And I want to connect something to the negative. Let's just say I have, my negative prompt, and I do the same thing. It
Yeah.
overwrites the first one. So you can always do it quick with the positive, but then the second one you have to manually do it. Anyway,
But yeah, that
sidebar.
saves a lot of time when you got to plug something into like 20 nodes or something
Yeah,
like we just did.
big time. Like we just did. Okay, we are going to line these up. Get a nice.
Yeah, anything with two of the same input. Brian says the node would be a little more versatile if you could place the text at the top or the bottom and add justification for the text chunk itself. So we'll have to
I
do
like that.
yeah, that'd be cool. And then
Yeah,
once you add justification, you have to add padding, and it just becomes the text mask node again.
No, I mean, there's ways around it. There's like logic that can be
Yeah.
implemented
If
for
it's
sure.
certain percentage away from the sides or something.
Yeah, as well as simply brain fart. Sorry.
It's okay.
Simply
You
doing
can plug
something
in
like
auto nodes.
the alignment of the text.
Yeah.
You know, align left, align right,
Just
align
add
center.
flexbox.
Mm-hmm. So let's run this.
Running every fill node now. I guess we'll find out if any of your nodes are broken.
Pixel sort. Yes, this one.
Yes.
I mean, for people who don't understand pixel sort, it's literally pushing every pixel around, and like this is, I don't know, like a
Ripple.
4K image or something.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that's why.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah. It
yeah.
looks good, though.
What
Oh,
errored?
something crashed.
Oh
ASCII.
yes. Yes. So you have to select a font. Let's do the circles. Oh, what now? Total images? Let's close that one for now. Okay, so let's start at the top here.
Oh, yeah.
So
Glitch.
the first one is my glitch node, and this one is pretty much what it sounds like. I have a fixed seed or a random seed increment or randomizer, and basically it just glitches the image. And if you have it set to random, it'll like shuffle the squares and the slices. You can adjust the glitch amount, so like off is or a low value is like quite a slight glitch, and you can kind of like dial into taste. You can barely see it, but it is shifting things around here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can
Like in
kind of see that.
tiles.
Yeah. This one's really fun when you have a video.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just pull something
I
up
know that mask.
here. Yeah, you do. Let's pull up my rec GIF.
Oh, it's glorious.
And I don't know. We'll set
Zoom in on that for the people. Yeah. Oh, look at that. The power of Stable Diffusion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, you know, using my powers for good, really. Or not. I mean,
It looks great.
to be decided, I suppose. And yeah, let's just combine this. Womp, womp. And screw you, GIF. We don't want GIFs. MP4s. And we'll crank the glitch amount so we can see what's
Get
up.
glitched on Shrek.
Oh yes.
That's pretty cool. He's
And
glitched.
then
Fully glitched.
another thing you can do, which I found was really fun, is if you, and I might change this in the code, but if you image batch to list, image batch to list, image list to batch. Basically, if you process the images separately,
It'll give you different seeds for each one.
exactly.
Oh, that's
I mean, it
cool.
should.
Huh, interesting.
Whoa.
It just made the tiles, like the edges, better.
Well, no, I increased the thing.
Huh.
But
Yeah, I guess you'd have to make a different kind of node that does like a batch and changes the
I can't
seed every
remember.
one.
I can't remember how I did this the first time because it's only the seed is generated on run.
Oh, you could increment the seed and then you could like set up a batch of 140 in your auto queue and
Yeah.
then do 140 with separate names and then just PNG sequence them together afterwards.
Yeah, there was a way I did it in one click, and I
Hmm.
honestly can't remember how and why. And then I also have this color offset one, and this basically scrambles the RGB. So now you
Oh,
get
that's
like,
cool. Yeah, yeah, I
you
like
know,
that.
classic classic like glitch thing. But yeah, each seed kind of like gives you a different flavor
Hmm.
in terms of slices, in terms of glitches. So yeah, it scrambles the RGB values differently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it's
made some very underground stuff today. Pixel Pusher said I showed him some underground Shrek stuff today. Today I learned about the spatial LoRa's in motion LoRa's and how important they are. Um, Very interesting stuff. Yeah, that's all I will say about that for now.
and
It really sticks
then
to the motion LoRa, if you know what I mean.
oh god,
Oh yeah, ripples.
PG. Yeah, so the Ripple one is like pretty self-explanatory. I mean, uh, it does the Ripple thing. I'm gonna delete the glitch for now.
Bye glitch.
And yeah, the Ripple one, pretty self-explanatory. Amplitude, frequency. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
it looks good too.
Yeah, it's they are this one is actually a shader. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, shaders look absolutely incredible, and I'll talk more about shaders in a little
Yeah,
bit
because you
here.
built most of these with LLMs, right?
Yeah, yeah, I build pretty much all of them with LLMs.
Hmm.
I have a nice tuned version of Claude that an instance that I've been working on. So just touching on that quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, we did a
Build
stream
Claude.
with Spencer recently, and he built a whole custom node on live on stream. So people were really interested in that.
Yeah, so I mean, I have like a little prompt. Wait, I mean, I barely have a system prompt here, but the idea with the workbench is I can go through and I can edit what the quote unquote assistant, like the LLM, actually writes. So and then over the course of many iterations, I revise and I clean and I prune the nonsense. And basically, I get this huge chat log that so now when every time I ask it a question, I could just be like, let's see, make me a node that does an interesting visual effect, get creative, make it feel retro. And this is quite the API call. This is the downside to this. Like this query right here is probably going to cost me upwards of $1
Oh, geez, every time.
every time. But it's gotten to the point.
Or it'll kind of just
Uh,
spit out a node.
oh yeah, yeah, 100%. It's like okay,
That's
cool.
wild.
Here's a node that applies a retro-inspired visual effect to input images, creating a nostalgic vintage loop. And I have it so fine-tuned. It's like, yep, here's your fill nodes pack. You know,
Yeah.
color offset, scan line, vignette strength. Oop, what's going on there? What
What
happened?
the heck?
That was weird. Huh, Markdown just like failed for some reason. Um,
Weird.
yeah, it's just super strange. Yeah, what the heck? That's so weird.
It's trying to hide something from you. It's like, no, no, you can't see that. That code's too
What the
good.
heck? What is
That code's
going
too
on here?
good.
That's so funny. Okay, but then basically we have this effect, and for the sake of the stream, I'm just gonna copy it.
Just see if it'll work.
Yeah. I know it'll work. It's just a matter of
That's
like, what does
crazy.
it do? What does it do?
Just adds like a yellowish tone to the image.
And so FL class retro effect. Okay, so
So I
what we're
should just
gonna
add that
do
to your node
here.
pack when you drop it in the thing, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna do, where is it? Custom nodes. And
We're
then
making a fill node live on stage right now, everybody.
there it is. And I got the init.
We don't even know what it does.
So it's like, what was it? FL retro effect. It's like, boom, there's the code. And then take this and we will import from that file.
Retro effect. Import. Oh, okay.
And then we're going to set the node class mapping.
Make sure you call it something different. In keeping with
And
the
then,
style of things. Rearrange the words. Effect retro.
why? I mean, it
That's
already,
the way.
this
That's the
doesn't
way,
exist.
every comfy node is backwards.
Oh, God. No.
You gotta stick with the comfy naming convention of
Brutal.
reversing the functions
Retro
of your
effect
thing.
pi. Okay. This should just work. So now we can drop that here. There's some other fancy stuff that I can do as well, but for the sake of this, we don't need to mess with that.
I'm not
And
getting
let's
fancy.
kill the instance. And we will restart it.
Oh yeah.
Gotta love my absolutely slammed version of custom nodes, dude. My compy takes like a minute and a half to start. It's so bad.
Mine was like that. I had to prune it.
It's, yeah.
Installing pillow.
I don't even know, like, why.
Yeah, how many times have you
Why
installed
does,
pill and oh man.
it's absolutely dumb. Okay, so my node pack loaded, so that's good. Good sign.
Machines are delusioning.
Machines are delusioning. Okay, so let's refresh this page.
We got a retro node, retro effect node now. We don't know what it does. The AI made it. It could take over the
FL
world, but it
retro.
probably doesn't.
Boom. So here's the node. Let's just
The
heal
AI
all
just made
this.
this node. That's so crazy.
It is crazy. It took me a long time to get it to that point. But like sometimes when I'm bored, I'm just like, make something cool. And it's like, here you go. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Uh-oh.
Image filter not defined.
Uh-oh.
So it didn't define a function.
Yeah, it's probably like 95% ready to go.
Yeah, it definitely is 95% ready to go.
So then how would you debug that?
Filter.
Would you just paste that into the workbench and be like, or was like close, but this was the problem, and can you determine why?
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
the
you
GPT
know,
type situation, or is it more?
exactly. So like we can take the node wholesale and like just be like, hey hey, take a second to check out this code. Do not reply. I just want you to understand what I'm working with. And then, so there's that. And it's like, got it, cool. And then I'm like, sweet. And then it's like, I'm getting this error. Please revise the code to fix it.
Make it better. Dave says, "Oh wow, Depth Anything version 2 really improves animate diff video." That's what I was thinking it would do, Dave. I'm really excited that's what's happening. I
So
hadn't got around to testing that yet before the stream started, but I'm going to play with that tonight.
yeah, definitely. It seems like we just didn't import something from Pill,
Oh, image
and then
filter.
that was
Actually,
literally
Joviak
just
said
called.
that. He said image filter is Pill from Pill import image filter. He already told us the answer. I just wasn't paying attention to the chat. My bad, dude.
Chat GP Jove.
I know. She's like, you can't even help us for free. We won't even accept his help. Like,
No, this is good though, right? Because even though that's a trivial problem, I didn't know it, and we can't expect everyone to know that problem.
yeah.
Images do not match?
What?
What?
What
What
images?
what are you saying, dude? Let's just load in something small. Images
Images
do
do
not
not
match.
match. So is it
But
trying to apply an effect from an image that doesn't exist, maybe?
no, it's like this is good. This is the like the whole process.
Image
Um
blend, which, oh yeah, it says the image blend function requires two images to have the same node and size. Mode and size. Huh, cool. That'd be cool if this just works.
I mean, even even as is, I can't expect everything to be perfect. Like this is unfortunately the current state of coding with LLMs. Um, but but the thing is, like, you know, like if we look at this GPT instance, the error is occurring due to the image blend function, which requires two images. You know, like it tells you uh, what is the problem, and then it breaks it down, right? In this case, it wrote the whole code, and then it gives you a synopsis at the end. You can prompt the GPT instance or Claude or whatever to, and there you go, it works. But you can prompt the instance of your LLM to not just rewrite the whole code wholesale, but to just rewrite the section of code that it revised, and kind of like give you an autopsy of like what is the problem. And uh, sometimes that's really useful to me when I'm like working on a big project and I can't get the thing to keep rewriting all of the code because it just won't fit into context. But then the benefit of that is it's also teaching you like, oh, okay, like I've ran into this problem, I worked through it, I understand what's going on now, and it solved it, and then you're bound to run into the same problem again. And the idea here is that, you know, like once burned, twice shy kind of thing. Like I'm not gonna fall into the same hole twice. And like the classic one with comfy nodes is like the tensor size is wrong. And so for like anyone who doesn't know, the oh my, what is this note plus? Get out of here. Like the tensor size of an image would look something like this. It'd be like one, I don't know, like 512, 512, 3, right? And in this case, like it'd be like batch, width, height, channel kind
Yeah.
of thing. And like Comfy has like a weird arrangement of this. And this is a problem I ran into so many times at the beginning, until I started to teach the LLM, like, no, I want you to write this tensor the same way. Or I just prompted it and I'm like, whatever tensor shape you get in the beginning, and for people and for other people who don't know, a tensor is basically just like the picture. Whatever like shape of numbers you get in, make sure you give me the same shape of numbers out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's those little things that you're like, okay, a few things here. Now I know what a tensor shape is, right? Now I know what a tensor is, period. But now I also know how Comfy expects to see that tensor shape. So it is quite a powerful tool just simply to learn about coding and like where the problem is and why the problem is arising. And it'll be very unique, dependent on your project. But so we just made a node. I don't really know what the fuck it does. Okay. Color offset.
Okay, yeah, so it's working. It's making it like vintage sepia.
We got scan lines. I don't.
Was that
This
making
is.
scan lines? I didn't see scan lines. Zoom in real
I'm
hard.
seeing noise.
Oh yeah, it's just making noise.
I mean, we also have a noise strength.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there ain't no scan lines. Don't lie to me.
No vignette either.
Vignette doesn't work. And
All right,
so, like,
ship it,
this
man.
is where.
Ship it. It's ready to go. Just commit.
Boom.
Look,
Yeah,
you've offset
I'll
the
just.
color by 1. It's all orange now.
Dude,
What happens if you set that to like 0.25?
10. Oh, I can't. Yeah, my Comfy does this weird thing. I can't. It won't let me go out of the range, which is ridiculous.
Is it just blending in the orange if you go like 0.5?
What was it? Primitive. I guess it'd be a float, right? Primitive float. Yeah.
Yeah.
And inputs, color offset.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Joe says, "Don't worry, Phil. I'll pull it and fix it."
Thanks, Joe. Really appreciate that. I'm not pushing this. I'm like immediately deleting this node. Like,
It's a
anyway,
keeper, dude. It's a keeper. The oranginator.
hell no.
How much orange do you want? All of it or some of it?
I prefer apple juice, but
Oh well.
oh yes, pixel sort again.
Yeah, the pixel sort stuff is cool. If you guys haven't played with pixel sorting, you should grab that and play with it because it makes awesome images. Honestly, Discord / YouTube / video is not the way to look at these images. Like, really have a good look at some up close high res pixel sorting images on your monitor. It looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, pixel sorting is really fun to look at. It's also very expensive, because as you can imagine through the name, it's actually sorting the pixel by, I mean, it depends
There's
on the
different
algorithm,
ways, yeah,
but
luminosity
yeah,
or brightness or direction.
hue or
Yeah.
like colors and whatever. This one, this hexagonal pattern, this one's really fun. So, at first glance, you're like, okay, cool. Like, it makes like hexagons. It does, interesting shapes, and you're like, all right, that's kind of neato. But what isn't so apparent to the eye is this rotation function. And when I give it like 50 degrees, it takes every slice and it actually treats them as their own picture. So they are masked. And I'm now like almost rearranging the image. And so this is definitely more exaggerated with a video.
You can turn anything into dragon scales.
I mean, pretty much. Go back to our Shrek example here. No, load cap 10.
You gonna hex rotate the Shrek man?
Dude, you
Yeah,
don't even know.
we are pushing the limits of technology right now.
Just don't tell my mom.
Right? Why is
Yeah.
That's really sick.
And so, yeah, it gets really out of control really quickly. And then
yeah, because like I've said it a million times. A video is just a batch of images. So like anything you can do to an image, you can do to a video, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so like this one's really fun, and a lot of my nodes you can actually set these as inputs and batch schedule the values. So like let's say
Mm,
you wanted like the rotation function to breathe, like you could do that with just a batch float.
very cool.
Um, and moving along, we have the paper drawn, and
That's a
this
great one.
is
That one's
yeah, this
really
one's
good.
this one's really fun.
That one you should
Uh,
almost use a different, yeah, a different input image or something.
God damn it, pixel sort.
Workflow says, "Will you do Gen AI today?" I'm not sure. Probably. We're just going
Gen
through
AI,
Phil's nose right now.
absolutely.
Yeah, Gen. Yeah, we'll gen some stuff. Right now we're processing things.
Here's the thing, right? As powerful and as fun as Gen AI is, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of tools we use to make art, including Gen AI, that simply do not require anything to do with machine learning. And this is kind of like the solution and a lot of the toys that I wanted to build um, in my node packs were things that I can add to my Gen AI that aren't explicitly AI at all. And these are examples of this, right? Like you make a cool video, sick, right? Um, and with this paper drawn thing, now I can just like immediately make it look like it was drawn on graph paper. The whole video, and it's like, yeah, you could fiddle with a workflow for hours to try to get this effect, or you can just run it through my node in like 4 seconds, you know, like, and then it doesn't matter what the video is. You could just run like wholesale a photo of your face through this thing, and it'll do the thing. It has nothing to do with AI. It's using shaders and a lot of present coding methods that have nothing to do with machine learning,
Yeah,
which is fun. Like
and
that's the
processing in and out and back and forth and into stuff and out of stuff and yeah,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
dude, we have so many options to us as because ComfyUI is essentially a visual modular synth in this sort of form. I mean, so is Touch Designer, but this is kind of different. The automated workflows we can kind of go harder on each step if we want. Um,
Yeah. And
Someone in
then
the chat asked what your caption saver node is for, and I said that I would have you describe your LoRA generation thing in a bit. So don't let me
oh
forget.
yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah. No,
your
that
thing for generating LoRA data sets, super cool. I want to
yep.
talk about that. I just don't want to forget.
100%. Yeah, that one is really really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So shader
Shadertoy.
toy. This one's really fun, and this one 100% can be used in a Gen AI manner.
Mm-hmm.
Init videos or whatnot. Let's just take this one. So my Shadertoy node, very simply, I can set the frame count. So let's just say 30 FPS, 30 FPS, MP4, and we're just gonna paste the shader code right there, and boom. And now I have shader code running inside Comfy. It's compiled. It's technically not real time,
So cool.
but what it does allow us to do, holy crap, this is a long one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good. There's a lot going on.
What it does allow us to do is like really, really define uh, like anything you want. Like shaders are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Um, and anything in here we can mess with. And I definitely just like recommend digging through here and just like messing with stuff. Like what happens when we take this float and we just add like a 1 to it? It's like, okay, I think the lines in the middle got more
Liney.
prominent.
Less liney.
Yes, something happened. Not sure. What about this? Let's change this to a 10.
You can also do this on
Oh,
Shadertoy and then bring it back over into Comfy so you don't have to generate a video every time too.
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, look at that.
It's just random, and so like, through the power of Shadertoy coming through here and being like, wow, wouldn't this be a ridiculous input for an init video?
Yeah.
You know, just like yoink, I want to take that, use it as a starting base, and then boom.
You can figure out how many frames the loop is too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Just by
or you
watching
could
it.
just, I mean, this one is relatively small, which is hilarious because it looks more
We just
complicated.
asked GPT how to do it.
Yeah. And just like ask GPT to like take this code, set a loop size of like 100 frames, given an FPS of like 30, and it'll make an infinite loop. So that's the shader code, and you can define channel inputs and stuff like that. So like I can load in an image, apply some shaders to it, and then do the thing. And that's exactly how like this node works. This is technically shader code that I was tweaking, and then I kind of compiled it all into a node that only does one thing, and exposed all these top level parameters so you can adjust the effect as you go. So that one's that. The ASCII node. Now this one's crazy. I love this node so much.
Yeah, that one's great.
So let's just do fill. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna set this to Arial, and it will redraw your image based on the letters you give it. Sequence toggle will allow you to basically write the whatever you typed in over and over. So fill. We can change like the spacing and the size of everything.
Otherwise, it'll arrange those characters based on the brightness of the image, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I turn off the sequence toggle, the last character in the sequence is always the luminance. So, for example, if I just add a space after the word fill, and then I do it, you can see. Yeah,
Very
see,
cool.
it starts
Yeah,
to
very
like
cool.
darken up, or like maybe more prominently like a 0 and a period, and it's like all the light spots become periods.
Super sick. And people
Then
can
if
just drop fonts in the font folder, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So right now I have like a few. I've got like barcodes, which is like literally just barcodes.
Oh, that one looks cool.
I got the circles, which is really fun. I could be like, hell yeah. And then it's just like, hell yeah. With these circles, fancy, which is just like a more like stylized font. And then pattern, which is like, I think this is, yeah, this one is crazy. So like, depending on the font you put in this thing, it really just becomes like this tiler, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And again, works. It's definitely more captivating with the video.
Yeah.
Ooh, way too fast FPS. Yeah. And maybe we'll set it to just like the normal Arial.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Set this to a smaller font size so we kind of get the image. Yeah, there you go.
That's really cool.
Amazing.
One NFT, please.
Pretty much. The FO collage. This one was the one that was failing, wasn't it? Was total images not defined.
Tile image and base image, maybe because they're the same.
It should work because they're the same. Maybe the spacing is messing it up. I don't know what's going on there. This one was working. I'm gonna have to revisit this.
Tool require a debug shaft.
Pixel art, pretty self-explanatory. I can just be like, okay, I want my pixel size to be real big, and it's like.
Did you just set a pixel size of a float?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yep. And so it basically just makes pixel arts.
Yes, I did.
Purz, yeah, I'm the guest.
That pixelator node is great.
Yeah,
that one is really good. It's really
this
good.
one. it was really funny, man. I kept seeing everyone making the pixel art stuff, and I'm just like, guys, like, we don't need to use like diffusion for this. It's
Yeah,
literally
it's
just
way better when
like
you like
it's
do it.
just pixels.
Yeah, because the
And
diffusion
then
pixels are all slightly different size.
hmm
Like when you
color depth,
pixelate. Oh yeah, you're just picking a
you're
lower in
basically
the
just
palette.
limiting, yeah,
Yeah,
255 being full, like 1 being everything. But yeah, you can kind of dial into taste and be like, how pixelated do you want it?
super
Cranking
cool.
it to cranking it full basically just gives you the same input back. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun to play with. Definitely gives you that like retro vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go in
And
different sort of multiples of 64, you can basically just work your way through the eras.
yeah.
Like Atari's like, 64 and then Nintendo and so on and so forth.
So now we have infinite zoom, and this one is really interesting. It'll literally
Oh my
just
god. Oh my god. Enter the
and
Shrek.
and so like we can set the FPS like 30. See what happens. To be smoother. No, it's this that I need to set to 30.
Oh,
Oh god.
whoa.
It's cuz the video itself is actually a low
Yeah.
FPS.
Film it.
So let's do like, oh my god, let's do this. This is gonna be trippy.
Oh, that'll be a good one, yeah.
And just, yeah, turn that off and run it.
How long is that?
It's not that long. It's only like a 20. It's a
Oh, it's the
24.
pixel sorting probably is.
Oh my god, please tell me it's not. Oh, it's doing all of them. Oh my gosh. All of you, go away.
Oof.
There we go. Shout out to Jove. He helped and coded all of the loading bars, which also allow my nodes to be canceled.
Hmm.
JoviX makes some really, really powerful nodes. Definitely recommend checking out his stuff as well.
Unfortunately, all the inputs and outputs are emojis, but that's okay. That means they're universal language.
Jove, if you're here, you really got to fix that.
No, they work in every language
Except for Intuition.
except for Comfy, except for my brain.
That is trippy.
Oh my god.
I hate it.
Yeah. You just hear
Yeah,
some
infinite
like
zooms,
you hear some detuned circus music in the background. Like, no,
pretty much.
no, no, no.
Yeah, this one has.
I love the pumping in the original. It's great. Get zoomy. Whoa. Very cool. Yes, halftone. This is one of those ones you got to see in real life. YouTube is just gonna chomp the poop out of that. But yeah, halftone looks great. Like you can you can see it. Yeah, I like when it's subtractive like that. If you're talking, we can't hear you. We might have lost Phil's mic.
My mic died.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, plug this bad boy in.
All right.
I love this.
Lost you probably right before you deleted all the nodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Image pixelator, a little misleading. It was like one of the first nodes I ever made. It kind of just takes this image and it does this almost like edge detector-y kind of look. But then as you increase or decrease the scale value, you get this like interesting like sliced square look. And it's especially fun when you do it on a video. And I guess we'll stay true to the theme and just use the Shrek GIF. Where are you?
Shrek GIF. Doing the heavy lifting tonight.
That's how it do. Yeah.
Look at that.
Really trippy stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
cool.
yeah, scale factor up a little bit and it will make it a little tighter, a little bit more. Yeah, it just does some really interesting stuff. And then we also have modulation, and modulation is really fun because it basically scales from like basically 0 to the percentage of your maximum. And so you get this like breathing effect. Really, really fun. And yeah, the
cool.
FPS of this video is quite low on purpose, but yeah, you get
that's
some really
really
interesting
cool.
stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of an overview of a lot of my art nodes. And then I also have some like utilitarian stuff like image randomizer. This one is super useful.
Yeah, I use this one a lot.
I'm going to pull my temp folder, just drop it in there, and then preview, randomize, set my run trigger, give this a seed. I'll probably have to fix this because this should be built in. This was also one of the first nodes I ever made.
Could you use
And it will
those
just
for
pull from a directory.
Flipping Sigma says, could you use those for noise on an IP adapter for interesting results? Yeah, I think so. Both into the blending into the positive and blending into the negative, right? The image negative, you could put all kinds of weird noise into that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this was a really simple node that I searched around like quite vigorously, and I was like, there is not like a directory randomized node, and I just had to make it because IP adapter came out, and I was like, this is powerful, but like, what happens if I just want to run the thing all night? You know?
Yeah, throw a
See what
folder of
happens.
images into my IP adapter overnight and wake up to 1,000 animations.
Exactly. And then yeah, directory crawl, another also very simple node. How many images do I have in here? Perfect. I'm just gonna pull this, and yeah, so you can drop a directory in here and then preview it, and basically, regardless of where the images sit inside the folder, it will crawl all subdirectories, and it will load all the images. So this was really useful when I was doing a lot of like LoRA creation and LoRA captioning when I wanted to process a lot of images, but they were all like already organized, and I didn't, want to like scrape them out, load them in, whatever. That's where this node kind of comes into play.
So it just makes a sliding batch of whatever's inside the folder.
Yeah, but it's specifically it crawls all subdirectories.
Oh, great! Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's why I called it directory crawl. Yeah.
I haven't even played with that one yet. That's really handy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna touch on this one a little later, this
Hmm.
image caption saver. Um, FL image size, now that I know a little bit more about JS, I definitely need to revise this one, but
Yeah, there's a bunch of
quite,
nodes for figuring out size, but
yeah. This was like my quick solution. Again, one of the other first ones, but yeah, width,
yeah,
height, nice and simple. And code node, um, pretty much does what it says it does.
oh yeah,
It
that's for
you
the
can code
P5
in
thing
here.
you were talking about, right? Or is that for
No, no,
something
this
else?
is actually Python.
Oh, neat.
That you can just like actually just drop Python in here, or set this. Also, I just noticed, Jove, that we only have one input, and I'm probably gonna edit it to put all four back, just for the sake of utility. But you can also load like a Py file in here too. So I think in this case, the example code that's in there should just spit out a string. Yeah. So output 0 equals
That's
hello
really
world,
cool.
and then
Yeah, I could
hello world.
see
Yeah.
that'd be super handy if you were like already a Python coder. So you could
Yeah,
just, do stuff real
and
quick.
here's the thing too, like you saw me like write the node, cancel the environment, rerun it. Oh, it's broken.
Hmm.
Close the environment, fix it, rerun the environment, right? This, I can just like drop the code in, run it. Oh, it's broken. Fix it. Click Q. Okay, it works.
Yeah,
And like no shutting down the environment. That was kind of the idea behind it. Nice and simple. I'm not even gonna touch on this. This is so niche. Like
hmm,
it's literally for one project and one project only, and there's no point in me even touching on that.
it's just there because it's easier than it not being there.
Well, I built it specifically for a project I was gonna do, and
Hmm.
it's so niche how I coded it that like no one will ever use that.
Yeah,
Uh, Prompt selector. This one's really really handy. So let's show text here. And so what this one does is you can put like trigger words at the beginning,
hmm,
comma, space, and then I could be like fire, water, space, earth, enter, wind, whatever, and then something like beautiful, colorful, whatever. And then when I hit Q, it's like, okay, trigger words, right?
hmm.
Fire, beautiful world, color. But then when I have this index, I can click it and it will just swap the middle.
Nice.
So the middle one is per line, and append and prepend stay static. And so you can really index through prompts really quickly, especially if like you're doing stuff uh, explorative and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was just like a quick little prompt selector I built.
that's super handy.
And random number, this is another one that I'm like really surprised just like didn't exist. But random number within a range.
Yeah,
So show int, what? Where is it?
doesn't it show any or any? Oh, display int.
Yes, thank you. Uh, and so min value, max value.
It's always going to be 0 because the chances of it being 1 are very low. There you go.
And so now it will always randomize within a range, basically. And so that's really useful if like I want to randomize the value of an RGB,
Hmm.
but like, you know, the max of an RGB is 255, and I never want it to go over 255.
Yeah.
And same with float and stuff like that. And
Very handy.
It it just tripped me out. I was like, why doesn't this exist? Like a random number, but in a range. And so I
Yeah.
had to go build it myself.
And now we have it.
And now we have it. And then the last one that I've been playing with is simply just a massive, K-sampler router. So width, height, batch, pass one steps, two, CFG, is scale, and
Jeez.
et cetera, et cetera. Resolutions. Um, and the reason I have this is because of this workflow.
Yeah. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
So yeah, so this is my
Just hang on
LoRa.
a second and just pull over to the left there and show everybody those wires. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Look at
yeah,
the
look at
left
this.
there. Yeah. Oh, look at those wires. Oh my god. That
Beautiful.
is some noodle porn right there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
All right, tell the people what this monstrosity does.
Yes. Okay, so what this does is it allows for the exploration and data set creation of LoRa's. And so I'm going to put on a custom LoRa that I made, just set it to 0.7. And so here we have our master settings, and this is kind of why I designed this, is like this one setting goes to all 25K samplers. And so that's really, really, really nice. Um, this is just kill
Yeah.
switches, negative prompts, whatever. But I select my model, I select my LoRa, I select my seed. What is this? This is high res iteration steps. I should probably rename that. And then I also have an IP adapter that I can use if I want. But basically, what this thing does is it will generate 25 K samplers. And so, like, let's say I set each K sampler to a batch of 8. Um, what is that, 400 pictures?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Um, but it will. This is my prompt section, and I have subject, a middle prompt, which is like a supporting prompt, and then at the bottom here I have appended prompts at the end, and then a trigger word. And what this will do is when you run it, all of the it'll run all of the K samplers based on my prompts down the right here. And so what is it set to, the batch size?
This dude actually hit Q on this thing.
I did. Batch size is set to 2, so we're gonna get 2 pictures per cell. So we're gonna get 50
Yeah, 50.
50 images. There's 25 K samplers.
And so what are the sort of differences between the K samplers right now? Do you have a prompt matrix plugged in or something, or how are you determining what they're all doing?
Um, they're all getting the same settings, but the prompts are going to each one. So you can see like P1, P2, P3, P4,
Oh, okay.
and they're all pulling those
Oh,
those
okay.
strings, and that's the conditioning. And then the images are also being displayed, P1,
Jeez.
image 10, whatever. And basically it'll go through and it'll generate all of these pictures. And like, hold on, let me try to get to this before it happens. Where's outputs?
Eh,
And LoRa data. All right, so let's delete all this. And let's change the seed. Run it again. I set it just a batch size of 1, no high res fix, so it'll just crank.
hmm.
And so what this thing does is it will generate all these images and it will dump them into corresponding folders based on your first layer of your prompt. Um, and
once it's done, so it's done. And now in each one, we have not only an image, but a paired caption file with your caption text. And so like this is a very basic example, but like if I wanted to go like more extreme with this, I could be like trigger word. Let's say I made a style and I called it Purz.
Right.
And
This is going to be nothing but cats.
and I mean, let's just run that. It should just overwrite everything. And so now we have our trigger word,
Oh yeah.
our subject, and if we did have something in the middle prompt here, it would also be displayed there, and it would basically be ready for training. So yeah, trigger word, subject, and then supporting prompts, captions. And the idea here is once you've dialed in a style you like, you run this thing and you have an entire data set that I can just hand off to Kohya, ready to go, and just hit train on your config, and like you're done, basically.
That's great.
Very, very useful. I sometimes just disable this whole like prompt saving mechanism, and I just use it to create like massive swaths of data. So I for my job I had to train up a bunch of stuff for work, and it was in a very specific style. So I manually trained a LoRA that like worked, and then I needed to scale it. I needed to scale it like hard because it was like flexible, but like not as flexible as it needed to be for production.
Right.
So I, ran a batch size of like I ran a batch size of 18. I know how much you love that, Purz.
Yeah. 18 is a totally reasonable batch size.
And what is that? Like 18 times 25, 450 pictures per queue of Comfy. And like I set up all of these prompt sections with LLMs instead of manual input, and I just like hit go, and I come back and it's like, oh cool, I have 10,000 pictures. Like great. Now I can just like quickly sift through them and just delete the ones that are garbage. And now I have a very scalable data set to create a robust model or LoRA. That was kind of the idea behind this workflow.
Yeah.
And
Super handy, dude.
yeah, and it's also fun just to like see what happens when you start just like playing with different styles and stuff. It's like if I turn the IP adapter on here, and I have to wait quite low, and we just like run it and just see what happens. So I have a LoRa, I have a model, a LoRa, and a lightweight IP adapter influencing all the renders. And they're all going to be in the same vein because there's just so much stuff holding it down. But they are all being influenced to some degree by the prompt. Not as heavily in this case because IP adapter is just too damn strong.
But yeah, I mean, if you want a bunch of images in the same vibe, like I can't think of a faster way to create a workflow or create a data set.
Yeah,
And then plus it's all got all the captions, so you're like off to the races.
And that's kind of like the most impressive part about it all is not so much like, yeah, okay, it's like a lot of case samplers and doing the whatever. It's like all of the folder structuring that I like okay, I'm gonna peel this back for you. Are you ready for this? This is ridiculous. So it's like, okay, it's getting image one, and it's like we have all of these concat nodes and fucking, and then here, look, here's my caption saver, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's in there, just buried in this nest of nonsense. And so
Serving
that's
one very specific purpose.
yeah. So I mean this is a very very like what's the word, unique but also very necessary node. So it takes an image, it takes a directory, the caption text, but also it overwrites. So every time I render an image, it's the problem that I was running into was it wouldn't all the nodes out there would save the image, great, but it would never overwrite the text files. And so like if I didn't like the image and I would run it again, I would just end up with like a folder of like 30 text files in one picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I don't want any of that nonsense. So that was something that I had to like design a custom solution for. And it's like really simple, but it serves like such a pivotal objective in this whole massive monstrosity. And so yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that thing is super
But
cool. So if you guys want to make your own LoRa's and you want to generate synthetic data to do so, where do they find this? It's on Civit?
yeah, it's on Civit. I think it's
Do you know what it's called?
I think it's just called Dataset Creator.
The creator.
It may be an article. Let me see if I can find it.
Be careful. What's your thing at?
Should be safe.
Okay. Just be sure, buddy. Yeah, there it is. That's
Nah.
LoRa
Yeah, I'll DM that to you.
Yeah, or I can. Yeah, okay. I'll drop it in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, I also have a YouTube video attached to that Civit link. And definitely recommend watching that. It'll kind of like, again, give you an overview of what everything is, how to use it, et cetera, et cetera. I probably need to make a V3 of it because there are some things that slightly broke. Not my fault, just like Comfy doing Comfy things.
Mm-hmm.
Like text boxes breaking for no reason. I'm like, why? like.
So, what has been your impression so far of SD3? Have you done enough prompting to have an opinion yet?
Speaking of, SD3 is a fantastic. Have I done enough prompting? Well, I mean, GPT has for sure.
Yeah, I know. Me too, buddy. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of complaints, a lot of like a hubbub about it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm like grandpa in the space or whatever, but I've seen this cycle happen like 4 or 5 times now. A piece of tech comes out and oh shit. Let's fix this. Oh my god, batch size 1024. Get out of here.
And it's nice having Phil on the stream, but his computer's about to die, so
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the cycle enough times to like understand how this goes. Basically, when SD1.4 came out, it was trash. And then when SD1.5 came out, it was trash.
Yep.
And then people started to tune it, and it was amazing. And then SD 2.1 came out, and it was trash. And then people started to tune it, and it got better. I'm not going to say amazing because it wasn't. And then SDXL came out, and it was trash. And then people started to tune it, and it got way better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just where we're at in the cycle, is like, it is the most capable base model we've ever gotten.
I feel the same way.
As well as the fact that like this is a totally novel architecture, basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Our metrics
work
for testing
the same
don't
way.
exist yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The closest thing we had prior to this was PixArt, which again I still don't know why people haven't adopted that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's the most capable base model, and it's very flexible. Yes, it doesn't know human anatomy, but rest assured, when people build out the training scripts, when we get Kohya stuff, when we get one trainer stuff, and you can throw whatever you want at it, it will get good.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the license that comes with this model is so absurd.
Yeah, I agree with
It,
that.
it's like very, very absurd. And kind of alludes to like the sentiment and the position that SD stability is in. Which is not good, right? Like their company is basically dissolving in front of our eyes. We've watched the birth and the death of a beautiful era of a company that provided so much and essentially kickstarted the entire open source community.
Yeah.
Many times, but like many times.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, but I'm glad that the hype is over, because that was a really that was a lot of copium and hopium that everyone was
Yeah.
drinking.
It's kind of the most annoying part of this whole thing. But
yeah, I think the most annoying part was because stability really they really hyped it up, and for so long they really did. They like drew that out really far. All these companies and all these very successful model trainers and creators basically were sitting on their hands because
Yeah.
they didn't know. They're like, from all the Twitter posts, it's like, wow, this model is insane. Like, we gotta up our game, or like we gotta let's wait and see. Maybe we'll just tune on that, and like we won't spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars training our own models when we can just like train on that, like use that architecture, right? But
Yep.
it's kind of all dissolved within a few days, and I think from here on out, for the next month, we're gonna see a lot of like really cool stuff come out that has nothing to do with stability, simply because everyone's like, okay, like they've shown their hand and they're bluffing, and we can like proceed now with our own goals.
Yeah, I'm bummed because, yeah, they've provided a lot of really fun stuff and a lot of good times for me, just like as a company, without ever really taking anything from me other than, stability membership if I chose to join, which I never actually really got into because I never ended up commercializing anything I was doing with any of their commercial models. But it's not to say I wouldn't. I kind of like the idea, but the fact that there's no real path to using SD3 for like art I might want to commercialize without it being a headache is kind of annoying. I hope that they come up with something a little better.
I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I don't think they
And you know
will.
what, that's okay. Honestly, because we do have a lot of stuff again sitting on the table. Like I have PixArt chilling
Mm-hmm.
here on Hugging Face,
Mm-hmm.
and if I just go to like the GitHub, um, it's so capable. Insane aspect ratios. It's really fast to train. Like look at this graph for example. It's like
Look at this
this
graph.
this is SD15. Like I still can't believe this. This is SD15 to train. Like CO2 emissions, yeah, whatever. Let's use the US dollar metric here. 320K,
Yeah.
down to 28K.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
That's insane. That's like 10x smaller.
Wow.
And so that's just training because it's
Yeah.
really efficient. It's fast to train. It like converges quicker on your data, so you don't need to train it as long and stuff like that. But then also, if we go up here and we go into the terrain scripts, it's like everything's here. You can train the model, you can train control nets, you can train on diffusers if you want, green booth, LCM LoRa's, like just a normal LoRa. Like it's all right there, and it's like, god damn, like so this is gonna kind of be like my next month project is seeing how capable training this thing really is,
Yeah.
and how far I can push it, because
Are you going to start with LoRa's? Because I guess that training the actual whole data set is what you said, with $32,000 to do that, roughly. That's how much it would
yeah
cost.
yeah I would probably just do like a fine tune at most, and like LoRa's of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like make an LCM variant.
Should make a control net.
Yeah. I think there are two. I think there's a canny control net for PixArt, and I want to say a depth map, which is a great start. Like honestly, that's fantastic. But yeah,
Somebody
like
in the chat
it's all
says
here.
the only thing they want to know is, does it work with IP adapter?
The answer is no.
That's a
Unfortunately.
negatory.
The answer is no. But
I'll train that. What are you waiting for?
Exactly. I feel like with something like this, if it's really that efficient, then everything should follow suit. That being said, like I don't know how an IP adapter works with a DIT transformer patch model. Like I have no idea what the difference is there.
I think
for IP adapter.
Well, I think I think Palm said that Tencent trained IP adapters for SD3 and said they were so powerful they didn't want to release them, apparently.
Wow.
So I don't know what that means, but that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah. But also, like, more powerful than what we have? Like, what does that mean?
Like, it just doesn't care anymore. It just, like, it's like an instant LoRa. Who knows, man?
I don't know. Yeah.
Could be cap. Could be cap. Cap alert.
Straight cap.
Straight cap alert. You never know. You never know. You never know. But yeah,
Purz,
so how are
what
you
should we dive
finding
into?
what are you doing with the 3-stage prompting process? Are you just feeding it all into one conditioning layer and saying YOLO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
YOLO.
Most people are doing
like,
that, I think. Yeah. Are you even triple loading the clips, or are you just going with the embedded?
No, I'm not even using. I'm just.
So you're using the embedded
embedded
encoder, and
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that's where I kind of landed too.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting gooder enough results from doing all the triple clip nonsense than I was just feeding one decent prompt into one channel. So
yeah, I mean, maybe you can touch on that. You definitely have been experimenting with that. So you kind of just alluded to it. You weren't really getting much of a difference.
Yeah, I'll switch over
doing
to
that way.
Switch over to mine. So yeah, like these. By the time I was done, I wasn't splitting it into two prompts anymore. I was just feeding one giant prompt into the main positive conditioning, and then going forward, because like I don't know if loading all this stuff matters enough yet. I don't know if we've unlocked enough of, I don't know, the quality of this model yet for this to matter, really.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I don't think it was worth all the extra headache, because I was getting like my VRAM was clogging out on my 24. It's just like, it's too much. This is enough. And then the other exciting thing I was figuring out about SD3 is using it as a denoiser or like denoising image to image through it at even very low rates streams in new detail at the same resolution. So it's actually kind of cool as a side scaler, detail upscaler.
Mm.
Let me load up one of those workflows. Blomp, blomp, blomp. Be glad I'm not sharing my output folder on live right now. It's a absolute travesty.
Yeah.
It's for science. It's for science. I'll find one, I swear. Maybe I put it in grids. Okay. So yeah. This is a totally simplistic workflow I've got going on here. So this is basically just an explosion of the multi-prompt workflow that we were looking at, where I'm just using Moondream to look at the image and ask two different questions and feed those into clip L and G and then clip T5. So the first question is describe the composition and style of the image, and then it does that and feeds it into the linguistic and guidance prompt. And then the other question is, describe the image fully, character, composition, details, colors, and lighting. That's going into T5 to give it a more, flowery prompt. But I don't think Moondream is maybe that smart, so this might be better done with like an actual LLM, offsite credits, that kind of thing, because I don't know. SD3 plus loading LLMs is a lot on one video card, so.
Yeah.
This is just for me because I don't want to prompt, so it looks at the image and does the thing, which is nice. But yeah, so I'll grab an image from my in its folder here. So let's start with, I don't know. We'll try one of these city painting things. So this is the initial image that we're starting with here, and it's going to look at it. Well, it's going to load SD3. Then it's going to hit the first Moondream node to get the linguistic and guidance prompt, which will be this once it's done. See if Moondream's about to crash. This is actually a risky workflow to run on stream, so if we disappear, that's why. Yeah. May have to kill this one. We'll let it run for a little bit. We're living on the edge, y'all.
Yeah, I guess that's the downside of Moondream, right? It's just one more thing in RAM.
And it's a big thing. Like it's not little.
Is that like 10 gigs or something?
I don't know, but it takes this long to run, so it's not small. But after it's run this first time, it doesn't have to do that model load again. So I don't know. I don't know if it's staying in memory or what it's doing, but here we go. We're loading the big clips. Let's see what happens. So what this workflow is doing here, I didn't even explain it. This is just a series of K samplers, and they're all set to different denoise levels. This one's 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and full denoise. And we're feeding this image into the VAE encoder of each node. So it's essentially, my computer's starting to chonk here, I think. Are we alive?
I still hear you.
Are we still here? Oh, we're hitting conditioning and my computer is chomping. Yeah, my VRAM is at 96%, 98%. Everything's chill.
We're cruising.
If we're cruising at a cool 99%.
We're at a cool 75 degrees Celsius.
Oh my, no, it's like 80. I think it's 86 or something right now. Okay, did we getting through the clip encoder? I don't think we are. I might have to fix this workflow for live streams. I'm gonna kill Comfy now before we have a complete meltdown. We got close,
Not a bad
everybody.
idea.
We got close, everybody. Careful, Icarus.
Better safe than sorry, really.
All right, we're back. We're restarting Comfy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kill this triple clip because screw it. And we're going to just use this one. And we can just pull the clip out from it. And we're going to feed the clip into our... Oh, hold on. I've been given other instructions. All right, there we go. What the hell? All right, so clip out to our positive and negative prompts. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna encode these. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do now is just for the stream, I'm going to kill Moondream. And I'm gonna add a multi-line primitive node from Chris Nodes. And just paste the string in there and feed it into the T5, the clip G and the clip L. So yeah, let's just bypass all this Moondream stuff. Try and keep it simple, stupid.
God, I love coconut water.
I'm jealous. I only have ginger ale water.
Canada Dry.
Yeah. Okay. We're hitting the text encoder. And we're using the image as input. So yeah, this is actually a really interesting way to use SD3 because like the fully denoised outputs of like, straight text to image are maybe not the most amazing, but when you feed it an image and you prompt it, you get really cool results in the interim stages of the denoiser. So yeah, I don't know if this is a result of the way the DIT stuff works or you know what, but this is not exactly how the old one would look. The old one would just kind of have like more and more of the input image, but like in a very discernible way. This one is almost more contextual. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, we'll see the full grid when it's done here.
The denoise curve is like really interesting.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with the sampler and scheduler.
Yeah, because they're only recommending the one for now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like the first thing we tested was we just went through all of them and they all look like trash except for that configuration, really.
And that's DPM, PP2M, SGM uniform. CFG of like 4 to 6, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is lower than the other models, strangely. But I guess that's because this is the medium 2B. Maybe it's more distilled. Do you think the higher models would have higher CFGs, or do you think it's a architecture thing? I don't know.
I think it's I think it's actually an architecture thing. I don't know, like I played with a lot of other fine tunes like Pony, Data Void's model, even PixArt, and they all seem to like that like 4 to 6 range, I think.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, maybe that's just like the new standard. But you know, you do make a good point. Like it could just be a distilled model thing.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because I don't know what that 2 billion parameters, if it means more about like the conditioning and the language, or if it means more about like actual like literal like token connections inside.
Yeah,
between the images.
What it's really. Yeah, it's like the network size basically.
So if we had an 8 billion one, it would have better connections between the contexts inside, right?
Yeah.
Or more connections, rather.
Binks actually like literally just messaged me like SD15 is only 890 million. So
I'm actually gonna have Binks on. We're gonna talk deep about nerd stuff.
Oh god.
Yeah.
He'll be good for that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, this is the original image, and this is the denoiser at 0.06, which already I kind of like it. It's interesting. It does one thing I've noticed SD3 does really well is hard, bold choices in the colors that actually fill space. Like you'll get a background that's like perfectly red. The whole thing is red. There's no weirdness. Like I don't know if you've noticed that too, but like the color choices are just incredibly intentional, I find, with SD3. Whereas with SD15 and SDXL, it really feels more like a hallucination.
Yeah, it wants to fill it. It never. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
it's super
very
interesting.
difficult to get it to not fill empty space with more nonsense.
But yeah, SD3 seems to be able to just let stuff breathe a bit, which is cool. I don't know what's causing that. All right, let's put Lieutenant Worf behind the drums and see what happens. All right, and we're gonna have to manually prompt this one. So Lieutenant Worf playing the drums in the ready room of the USS Enterprise. Moody atmospheric lighting. Starfleet uniform. Drums. That's a real photo of Lieutenant Worf. It's not AI at all.
That's fake news.
Yeah. You can tell that's a really totally human hand right there. He's turning into Cisco. Captain Cisco, not the singer. Oh, wow. The SD3 fully
What?
denoised one is actually kind of awesome. One other thing that's really cool about SD3 is the prompt adherence. Like I did the, orange box on a blue table in a red room with a yellow light thing, and it does a really good job.
Yeah, that's that T5 for sure.
Yeah, rock star. Yeah, I did a rock star lying in the grass, 2 words, and it made a star made out of rock. And then I put
No way.
Yeah, yeah. Then I put rock star, like all 1 word, and it made a puddle of a person.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah, it's on my 1 second here. I have it right here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so photo of a rock star lying on the grass, and it made a star made out of rock. And then photo of a rock star, photo of a rock star. They made that.
What the hell?
So yeah, it matters, Yeah.
Phrasing.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this detail. It's crazy. We didn't have stuff like that in SDXL, not without upscaling or up to fine tuning.
Dot simulate brings up a good point. Like, it just wants to put clocks everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he did say that. So yeah, like the where's my multi-prompt setup? Let's just do the dead simple prompt setup. Where's that? Not upscale, not multi-prompt, basic, yeah. Purple dinosaur sitting on a yellow table in a green room with an orange light overhead. Oh, right. Purple dinosaur, yellow table, green room, orange light. This would not happen in SDXL or SD15.
No, God, no.
What about 3 people standing beside each other on a tennis court? Okay. 3 lizards standing beside each other on a tennis court. Okay, anatomy's not too bad. No extra legs, no fingers, no extra hands. Pretty exciting.
Pink flower and a yellow
I
flamingo.
only did two lizards. All right, send it back. It's not done yet. They're pretty majestic, though.
I really like Spence's test, trying to get different colored flamingos.
Oh, what's that one?
Just like my prompt is a pink flower and a yellow flamingo, or like a blue flamingo or something. Oh, that's pretty good.
Pink flower and a yellow flamingo. Yeah.
Let's get GPT to write a tongue twister.
Do it. Paste it to me. Okay, now let's try 2 police officers lying on the grass in a field.
What?
They cannot make people lay down on a field. Yeah, this is going to be... Look at their legs. This is a big weakness of SD3. People are asking for lying on the grass pictures. It just for some reason cannot, absolutely cannot do it.
6 shiny silver sharks swiftly swam around the shimmering scarlet ship. I mean, it's not 6, but yeah, I mean, yeah. It's...
Six shiny silver sharks swiftly swam around the shimmering ship.
I can't believe you.
The ship's
not.
the ship's not shimmering, man.
It should be scarlet. That's the whole prompt. I just DM'd it to you.
Oh.
Write me 10 more.
We also found out about a very strange thing last night too. Did you see the find replace stuff?
What?
So if you find replace, excuse me, text and find replace, space with a 0. Run your prompt through that. So let's do a multi-line primitive string. All right, let's put it in here. We're going to run the string into text. We're going to replace the thingies with thingies. We're going to change the input to text, and then we're going to add a show text here. So that what this is going to do is replace all the spaces in this with zeros, and then what we need to do is pad the rest of the prompt with commas. And I don't know why this works, but it seems to work. So plug that in. The other thing we need to do is a string concatenate. The best thing to do is actually to calculate this. I don't have the padding node installed right now, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to add a bunch of goddamn commas. And then we're going to pop that in here. We're going to string concatenate that out. And actually, now we're not. We're going to take this and put it in here. We're going to take this out, put it in here. And we're also going to view it here so we can see what it makes. So this is going to make an awful monstrosity of a prompt, but it should make a better image. Let's find out. So this is pretty good. The ship is Scarlet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sharks plus an army of shark ships. And, you know, they're flying, but whatever. Not bad. Fix that seed. It's fixed. All right, let's run it. So now this is going to make a god-awful prompt. See that thing?
Okay.
Apparently, this will make a better image. But I don't see the ship now, so I guess it's horse shit. But yeah, there was a whole post about this on Reddit last night. Ugh, that's so much worse. Maybe I don't have the right number of commas. Or maybe it's bull. Yeah, I prefer without. Fake
Yeah,
news.
one thing I don't like is like weighting words doesn't work. You can't weight the prompt. Like that's such a powerful tool and you just can't do it.
That's super weird. I'll try some of the old favorite prompts here. Nacho cheese fountain in a busy town square. Not bad. I wouldn't use it, but it's not bad. Let's try frustrated Muppet. Attempting to assemble IKEA furniture. He doesn't seem that upset. An extremely surprised 45-year-old man, gray hair, white beard. I was getting really surprised people earlier. This guy's not as surprised. He's a little surprised. His eyes are wide. That's pretty cool. Let's try an extremely furious 45-year-old man. I'm always curious how I can do emotion. SDXL's thing was just to furrow the absolute crap out of people's brows.
Huh.
Seems angry. Right, and sentient turkey sandwich attempting a hostile takeover of a cracker factory. A sentient turkey sandwich isn't attempting anything. This model's so neutered, bro. It can't even come up with sentient turkey sandwiches. A man holding a sign that says SD3 is not great at drawing hands.
That's meta as hell.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, like the typing ability is unparalleled though. Like we
I
have to
know.
all agree on that, you
I
know?
know the text is so good.
It's crazy good.
Stand up and stretch my knees.
That's honestly probably why they were like flexing it so hard
Yeah, well, I mean,
on
that
Twitter,
is super exciting. Like the text is super cool. But it feels like
I
it's
wonder
doing some trick or something because it's always super good.
Yeah, but then the odd time it fails, but it's like, God, it's like a 70% accuracy rate. It's crazy. I wonder how well that'll hold up when you start to tune it, though.
Me too. Ask for that on a billboard with something on the billboard, not just people holding cards. Yeah. I mean, here's Smokey the Bear saying Forest fires are lit AF. Yeah, okay. A billboard on a busy Japanese street that says hot dogs half off. There was a dude in there for a second. That's not bad. Look, they're cut in half.
Wow.
Although not gonna lie, that looks more like Dundas.
It does.
Can it do a 3D sign that is text? I don't know. Let's try it.
Why are these all...
Hey, Alessandro, we're playing with SD3 right now, actually. That's not a bad little 3D sign. It says "Welcome to the jungle," and it's in the jungle.
Yeah, my apprehension to like actually prompt this thing, it's really annoying. I hate prompting.
I know it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it for so long manually. I'm like so over it.
The man running
Though,
away from an avalanche. Oh, he's running! Oh my god, he's mid stride. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it doesn't really understand like silly stuff, I find.
no?
No, like it kind of Like if I wanted to make this guy ski jump into a giant bowl of cottage cheese, it just doesn't really get that because it's like not in the training data. Whereas I don't know, the other ones I feel like it would try. Maybe we haven't described the cottage cheese well enough. A ski jumper landing in a giant bowl of hot, wet cottage cheese.
Oh God.
Hot, wet, gooey, room temperature cottage cheese. Oh,
When you do,
you know what?
find a.
You know what? I was wrong. I take it back. He is about to land in a hot, wet, gooey, room temperature bowl of cottage cheese. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Okay.
When you do find a good prompt, though, it does create really nice images.
Let's try a 1972 photograph of a man at a bowling alley. Can it do like temporal like pictures and stuff? It looks like it could have been taken last week.
I'm just going through Binks and I have all these like disco prompts that we used to use.
You get anything good?
I mean, they're clean images.
Do you want me to switch over to your screen for a bit?
I know. I mean,
Yeah, go
I'm
for
just
it.
vibing.
Find some stuff. Oh yeah, you're on. Let's see what you're making. Mine's just making old dudes bowling.
Mine's making pretty subpar robots right now. I'm what the hell?
That's kind of crazy. But yeah, like that
Why are
background there is like so much like cleaner than it would be in anything else. Very cool.
How about like macro shot of a million ants carrying a spider on the forest floor? Photo raw Fujifilm. Wow.
Ew. Oh,
I mean, it's pretty good.
it's yucky. Oh, it's yucky.
Leaf cutter ants playing
Cutting
a
leaves.
song. I have to say, the anatomy of the ants is not bad. Like, ants are difficult. Any insect is difficult.
Yeah. It's doing good ants.
Venus.
Literal Ant-Man.
How the hell is Jesus? Venus flytrap eating a man. Oh,
It's a
boy.
man eating a Venus flytrap. You're not supposed to eat those, dude.
Oh boy. Oh Jesus.
These are great. You should do a whole series of these. I hate them so much.
Wow. Uh-oh.
This one's got this guy trapped in the dirt.
Wow. I mean, how about
Nate says, "Do the word
Polaroid?
Phil spelled in ants."
Oh, yeah, that's actually good. Let's try that. Oh. Oh boy.
What is going on the right?
I know.
What is going on over there?
I like the Polaroid vibe.
These are great. Yeah, these are
It's
really
pretty
cool.
funny.
Polaroid picture.
Looks like Ben Stiller.
Hmm.
I wonder if I can do this where I slide your generation area beside my generation area. Yeah.
I was so close, dude.
I guess Uncle Ben was wrong. Oh no. Oh no, Spider-Man, no.
Okay, so what was that? It was Bill spelled out with ants.
Are you gonna buy those Brave Fleece sweatpants or not?
Pretty close. What? What are you talking about?
You had a pop-up on your screen. It was talking about sweatpants. Dude, this is
Oh, neat.
amazing. Did it come out? This is how it came out? What the hell?
Yeah. It's pretty good. I just wanted pictures of Spider-Man. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, it's a great meme generator. Like, how about a sign that says
A sign that says a sign that says?
Yep. And then I'm gonna multiply it 4 more times.
Oh no. I sign this, I that. A beautiful landscape made of beautiful landscapes. I sign that, I that, I have.
Flowers made of Lego made of faces.
Ooh. Oh.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Fell apart beautifully.
What's 2 plus 2?
Don't say
This
4.
gives me a
Don't say
red
4.
dog.
Don't say 4. Don't say 4.
What the
What?
hell?
Oh, we gotta ask different questions now.
Oh god.
Ask you what the meaning of life is.
What's the meaning of life? Oh my god. Look what it gave me.
Why is it just whiteness?
Oh
Why is it
god, that's
stucco
deep.
ceiling? Why is it? What is
Oh,
that?
that's deep. Oh god. The meaning of life is a side
It's
curb.
that bush.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it's that bush. Okay. So I don't think it knows. Someone said Sonic the Hedgehog at a bar with Super Mario.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I bet you it's been so neutered this doesn't work.
You don't think so? Oh yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They're like toys though.
Oh, let's try a Shiba Inu eating ramen at a fancy restaurant, comma, upset at the cost of the bill. Dolly used to nail this one. The dog would be looking at the bill like, huh? It's cute though.
I didn't spell Bill right.
Mm,
Nah.
I can't afford this. I feel like it's this dog's birthday or something.
The
He's
ramen
just
looks
eating
really
the
good.
ramen, yeah.
That's Boombohoy, dude. That's not ramen.
Send the model back.
Send the model back.
It's uncooked.
It's literally just made me a girl. That makes
What
sense.
was the I'll send the model back.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask it to do medically accurate hands.
Why? What is this? Oh boy. Ew.
uh, oh, wow.
Ay, ay, ay.
Them some fingies.
Great. It's shit hands and high resolution.
And look, she's got a clock around her neck.
Oh no.
What's that about? Anime style, biblically accurate hands. Oh God.
Super long fingers.
Oh dear.
Skin.
Yikes. Okay. Yeah, man. This model is strange. I can't wait to see what the community does with it though. You got me yawning.
Me?
Yeah, you yawned once. Now I've been yawning like a yawn master.
Dude, I was having a nap when you called
I
me.
know, it's unreal. It's unbelievable. Yeah,
I like
Woman
these
on the
horror
Grass is
ones.
a great one. Yeah, these are pretty crazy.
Jesus.
Oh God. See, there's one of those like pixelated ones. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, I
Some of
mean, I
the
put
results
pixel
just come out.
sort, but
Oh. Yeah, some of
yeah,
them
it
just
didn't
come out
really.
like super pixely, especially with the denoise stuff. I don't know what's up with that. I don't get it.
Mm.
But yeah, have you figured out any other cool tricks with SD3 yet, or just normal like prompting stuff so far? It's all I've really been doing.
I mean, that's all we really can do.
Yeah.
Other than like the tile diffusion thing,
Yep.
it's kind of all. Oh, that is a lie. I do have a trick. Some models, XL LoRa's specifically, the clip works. So this is the same seed. And when I apply my clip from this model,
Oh
it
wow.
totally changes it.
Huh. And you have to crank it right up like that?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Let me put in a trigger word, see if that helps. And so Yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been going through my Excel custom models and just been like, what can I get to get, well, like what can the clip actually affect? Out of what models does it actually do something? And it does something. I just don't know what.
Is it actually applying the clip from that? Or is it just like
Well, it has,
nonsense, just pushing it somewhere else maybe?
I guess it's just pushing it somewhere else, but
It's interesting though,
some of
because
them
it
were
went from
like,
anime to like more realistic.
yeah. Yeah, this one just broke. It's too high.
That's cool.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely more testing is needed.
Yeah, I mean, testing is testing, but I just want to tune it. And
Yeah.
like, I know I can right now. It's just like, I'm just waiting, you know.
Yeah, I mean there's time.
the one-
It just
the
came
one
out.
trainer team is already working on a branch. I think they already have a branch for SD3.
Nice.
I'm on it right now, but they pushed an update an hour ago. Initial SD3 model setup and data loader.
Let's go. So yeah, I mean by tomorrow there could be a bunch of stuff. People are
Yeah, I mean,
generally pretty fast with this stuff, so
mm-hmm.
keep your eyes
Yeah.
on Civitai, everybody. Search by SD3 and be smart about what you download now. Maybe we should talk about safety a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What are your best practices these days? You basically find out something about the author before installing anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of what I've been up to.
there's in the manager, in the Comfy manager, there's now like a verified section. I actually haven't updated my manager, but
Yeah, mine. Excuse me. Mine has a green check mark, so I'll pull it up one sec here. Browser manager. Yeah. So if you look at custom nodes here, there's actually a little check mark beside each author. And all it means is that they've been active for more than 6 months on GitHub. It's a pretty good indication that they're not a new bad actor in the space, but it's not necessarily a check mark. Yeah, you're good to go. It just means that person's been around for a long time. So yeah, it's helpful, but don't just assume the check mark is fine. Maybe find out from other people if they're using it before you install stuff. I don't know what else you're doing, Phil, but
yeah, I mean, a simple practice that I do is I run everything through some LLMs, and I say, give me a score of the like a score out of 100 of like what you think the chances of malicious intent are in this code. And then it'll like kind of do an autopsy on it, and like sometimes it exposes things that are like not necessarily blatantly like a hack, but are like a security flaw. And it's really interesting to just like let it do its thing and then read through what it has to say, because a lot of the times it's like, yeah, like this is a potential leak and this is a potential leak, and it's like, and then I like go deeper into the question. I'm like, okay, but like is it actually doing something? And it's like, no, but it's like
it could be
It's open.
like
Yeah. It
it's
leaves something open.
and it's
yeah.
like wow, like holy shit, it's,
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think to do that, but that's a good idea.
yeah. I mean, these days, like that's really like the only due diligence you can kind of do. If you're not a traditional dev, you have to take matters into your own hands somehow, and LLMs are kind of like the best thing we have.
Yeah, I think so too.
And we have so many of them now too. It's like it costs you nothing but time to just like copy the code into a few of them and kind of cross-reference things.
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
just rely on like the one.
Yeah, and that goes for
But
coding too. Like when you're making stuff, sometimes it's better to just like take everything, move it over to Claude for a bit. Take everything,
yeah,
move it over to 4.0, see if it's, or you can also say, like, if you've been working in Claude for a while, you can take the code over to 4.0 and be like, yo, is there anything you can do to make this code run better? Or like, do you see any glaring, inconsistencies or anything that could be solved? Sometimes it'll be like, yeah, you did this and this and this. And you're like, I didn't do it, but okay.
yeah. Yeah,
But
that's a great.
Yeah, the reason we're talking about security is Comfy LLM Vision, the node, had a malware in it. So, yeah, like that's the other thing I would say is if a node seems too good to be true or it's doing something that no other node does, maybe give it a couple weeks, make sure the community's vetted it before you just dive in on day one. Because most of the things you're going to get screwed by trying to be the first person to do something, I think.
Yeah.
It's not always the best thing to be the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. And I want to thank you for coming out and, being here and sharing your stuff. And if you have anything coming up you want to tell the people about, now's your chance.
Coming up, I mean, like
anything you're doing fun.
Purz knows better than anyone. Like, there is so much knowledge to cover. Like, we basically just experimented today.
Yeah.
And just played around, but there is so much to explore in terms of model training and LoRA fine tuning, and the space is wide and vast now, and I definitely encourage everyone to kind of get their hands dirty with LLMs, coding, training. All the scripts are there. Even if you don't know what they do, ask the questions. You have like the teacher with the infinite patience. So
yeah.
In terms of like what I'm working on, civic contest is coming up. I'm gonna be definitely putting like my best feet forward in terms of that stuff.
Sweet. Yeah, I think I'll do something for that too, probably. Yeah, everybody here should get involved in that. What's that? Project Odyssey, I think it's called. Project Odyssey.
Yeah, Project Odyssey.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 different major sites are putting together a pretty big competition with some really cool prizes. You guys should check it out. It looks cool. I think I'll be entering too. Looks fun.
Yeah. It'll be really good. Maybe at a later time, Purz, once you've done like the rotation, I'd love to definitely dive into not so much like the nodes or like the custom stuff I've been working on, but more of like the methodologies of training, merging, extracting.
Yeah.
Diving more into like the realm of creative exploration on like dialing a style that is uniquely yours. Because I think
like
that's a subject that not a lot of people touch on, and especially with like the advent of IP adapter, it's so easy to fall into the trap of like I'm just gonna throw a picture in and hit go.
Yeah, my style is every style now.
Yeah, and as much as that is satisfying when you do that through the filter of like a custom model that you've done or like a custom LoRA, your style starts to become more recognizable and prominent, and you will gravitate towards something that you make.
Yeah, for sure. Alessandro asks, do you know of any in-depth tutorials about fine-tuning or any recommendations for YouTube people that help with, training ideas? Have you seen anything with that, or did you just kind of fumble around in the dark?
The absolute best resource is actually not a it's not a YouTube by chance, but it is the Kohya docs.
Mm.
So this and I'll send you the link, Purz. I don't know if my stream is still up.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, you're on. Yours is on.
Okay. Yeah, so this doc and Purz, you can drop it in
Yeah,
the
here, I'll do it.
comments or whatever. But the this doc gives you absolutely everything you need to know about every Kohya parameter. It is a very, very in-depth guide on every setting, what it does, how you should utilize it, when to utilize it. And if you follow this and use this as your Bible, you will create good LoRAs, written by Kohya themselves. And yeah, I'll send you this link in a DM, Purz, because it's
I
incredibly
already posted it in the
powerful.
YouTube for everybody. So yeah,
Amazing. Yeah, that's like the best I can say, because once you have like an environment up, and even if you use Civitai, the knowledge that you learn in that document is transferable, because like training doesn't work differently across tools. It is all the same concepts, just like wrapped differently.
Mm.
But I would recommend reading through that like at least 2-3 times, and even having it open when you are doing model training, because there are some things that there's like nuggets of information here that are so invaluable.
Mm. That's really cool. Yeah, I need to learn more about training myself, but yeah, I would love the deep dive and get into style, like as a subject. So yeah, man, we'll set that up in a couple months. I've got a few guests lined up in the next couple weeks, but yeah, I'd love to come back to that really soon.
Yeah, and I feel like in that time I'll have gotten my hands dirty in SD3 training as well, so that's sweet.
Wrap it around full circle.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for hanging out, and thanks to everybody who came and hung out. And you should tell people about your Patreon and stuff, where they get you, socials, all that stuff. Yeah.
My socials, you can hit me up on just machinedelusions.com. I've got I actually don't even have my Patreon on my website. It's ridiculous. But this is where you can find all my socials. And Instagram is where I'm like the most active for my videos and stuff. I do a lot of like audio reactive stuff, a lot of like pulsing, kind of like context switches and stuff like that, all audio reactive. In terms of my Patreon, you can hit me up at Patreon and Machine Delusions as well. Yeah, Purz has it pulled up there. In my Patreon, I've been kind of more like focusing on getting like custom models. So like these are all 1.5 models that I've tuned, and they're all like very, very unique styles, very style like vector pop, very, very much me. And I also have a couple of workflows here and some like really trippy LoRa's that I've like fine tuned. And I'm gonna continue to be posting resources here. I think more so on like the workflow side of things. But yeah, definitely keep up to date with that, because there's just a lot of tools that I want to release to the community, but I'm very sentimental on the work that I have done, and I also understand like it's so unique, and these are things like, workflows aside, the models, these are things I've been like tuning and refining and growing with for years now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love to see what people do with what people do with them, but I also don't want to hand it out for free, because I'm sentimental on it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. But yeah, man, we appreciate everything that you've given the community. And yeah, also go check out Phil's Civitai page, because like there's lots of stuff on there too. Machine Delusions on Civitai. There's like
same deal.
And we didn't even talk about the depth LoRA and all the other fun stuff. So yeah, there's lots to talk about. You don't want to
Yeah,
tell people
this
about your depth LoRA. I think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread for making a diff, but you know, that's almost
yeah.
a very esoteric concept that's hard to describe. It's like, why would you fake a depth map? It's like, because then it's perfectly smooth. And then when you're
Yeah.
making animation from it, you get a perfectly smooth 3D-ish
So
animation.
this example that someone posted is like a really good showcase of it, and actually it's Boog. I think Boog
Yeah.
posted this.
Yeah.
But the idea here is you use my depth map LoRA to make an animate diff video, but in the style of a depth map, and what you get is like this hallucination of a thing, and then you can stylize it further with you basically use this video as a depth map in a control net, and you can do some interesting things. So like, you know, a girl with floating cubes around her head. Like, to make this in Blender would just, God, it would take you forever. Or
Especially with
any
like a
3D
realistic
software.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole thing, right? And so you can get some like really crazy effects. Actually, this is when you posted Purz, just like
Yeah.
flying through a city.
Yeah. Like
But
that'd
then the
make a
cool
great
thing
a
is,
diff.
yeah, the cool thing is like once you have this, you can reskin it an infinite amount of ways, because it's just a depth map and you can feed it into a control net, and you don't even necessarily have to stick to the same content, right? I could take this city and
Be
skin it
Legos or
like
whatever. Yeah.
roast beef sandwiches, like whatever.
Mm.
So so yeah, and I also have trained a couple of XL versions of the depth map creator. Those are more like utilitarian, as well as like a normal map creator, which is really good.
Yeah,
And
that's exciting. That normal map generator is really cool.
yeah, those will be up on my Patreon for sure.
Sick. Yeah, man. Well, thanks again for everything. And yeah, and if you want to hit me up, it's Purz.xyz. All the links are on there. Patreon.com/Purz, blah, blah, blah. Support the channel, support the show. I'll be back twice next week. I got a stream, I think around Tuesday or Wednesday for some nerd stuff. And then I can't remember off the top of my head who my very next guest is, but I will be tweeting about it. So follow me on the socials. Follow Machine Delusions on the socials. Where am I pointing? Pointing that way. There we go. And then, yeah, come back. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. And thanks again, Phil.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Cheers.
Night, night, everybody.